We're here at Canadian Tire Centre. Ken Warren with Bruce Garrick of Post Media to talk about the big action the Ottawa Senators have taken here over the last few days. And Bruce, maybe you can run through what the Senators have done here at trade deadline.
Well, they closed out the deadline here on Monday by dealing Mark Stone to the Vegas Golden Knights for a second-round pick from the Dallas Stars in 2020. Two prospects, Brannstrom and Oscar Lindberg. Obviously, Eric Brannstrom is the centerpiece of that deal. I don't think that this will catch anybody by surprise, but I think there was still hope in the community that Mark Stone would sign an extension here. When he wouldn't sign an extension here, the fact remained that they had to move him, and they were able to get some pieces in return. And I think we haven't heard from general manager Pierre Dorion yet, but I think he'll probably feel good about what he got back.
Yeah, and just to cap the week earlier, Matt Duchene and Ryan Dzingel, the other two of the top three scorers, are gone in trades. Tough week. It is going to be tough for the community to stomach this in the short term for sure. Long term, we'll see what happens out of this. But maybe we can go through. You talked about the return on Stone. They got Brunstrom, who, by all accounts, looks like he's going to be at least a top four defenseman in the NHL. A lot of people have compared him in the past to Erik Karlsson. And also Oscar Lindberg, who's more probably a third or fourth line NHL player. I think the return, and a second round pick that's coming back. And I think it's not a bad return, but it's going to take, again, maybe 2-3 years for Brunstrom to really maybe establish himself.
You know, the way I look at it is if you look at all the deals they've made in the last few days, I think one of the things that they're going to have to do is lay out their plan again and let people know where they're going to go. One of the things I think that people can feel good about is the fact that this organization has a lot of prospects, but now that they have all those draft picks, Kenny, it's what are they going to do with those draft picks, right? And where are they going to go with them? You know, they can also use those draft picks down the road, certainly, to get pieces to help this team. I think the one thing they did get in the Stone deal is they did get a player in Lindberg who will be able to step in right away, so that's one step forward. I just think this will certainly leave some people with questions.
Oh yeah, and so if we look at how did Pierre Dorion fare over the week, he's backed into a corner. These guys, you said, they're not going to sign. You know that they're going to be gone. You have to make the best possible deals. A lot of the other, Vitaly Abramov and Oscar Davidson, we're not sure they're going to come out. Abramov might be a sniper who can make it. So I'm not so sure about that deal. Again, it's hard to determine these deals because you just don't know what you're going to get out of the prospects and picks. At least I think out of the Stone trade, I think Brunstrom is a legitimate A+ prospect. So that. I think if I was doing it as a whole, I think they did okay. If we when we turn this to talk about the young players, how are they going to develop? How hard is it going to be for them to develop?
Well, I think it's going to be difficult. I think that the veteran players who are left in that room, guys like Mark Borowiecki, Cody Ceci, Michael Boddicker, to some extent Chris Tierney and Dylan DeMello, and certainly Craig Anderson. I can't forget him. Those guys are going to have to lead the way. I mean, they are actually going to have to lead their way by doing things the right way, and I think that is the big thing that they have to do here.
I think it's going to be a very difficult. It's going to be tough to sell season tickets in the short term for this team because let's face it, fans. They've seen 3 of the big names go out the window. It's going to take some time for the development. Chabot and Tkachuk can help. With some excitement, but again, you got to get a cycle of some more established players in here at some point. And so I guess just to wrap up again, busy 3-4 days for the Senators here. But I think everybody was, in my estimation, people were expecting this. They just didn't know what players were coming back. So I'm not so sure. It's disappointment, in my opinion, from fans. But also, I think they were resound. They thought this was going to happen.
Yeah, you know what? Look, thank goodness it's over. And because this, the last... What have we talked about for 3 months?
Exactly.
I think we could turn on every weekly panel since October, and at some point, Mark Stone, Matt Duchene, and Ryan Dzingel were mentioned, and before that, it was Erik Karlsson. I think right now, there's 19 games to the end of the season. Count down the days to the end of the season, and then see what they do in the offseason, because there are going to be a lot of changes. I mean, the next question we're going to ask about is the future of the coach. But let's save that for a panel.
You know what? In the next couple of weeks, I think there's going to be almost as much interest in Belleville as there is in Ottawa, because some of these prospects that come in, how are they faring, and how is that going to help them down the road? Thanks for tuning in once again, Bruce Garrick and I, for our short-term panel here on the reaction to today's trades. Take care.